Peace, Prince Ash here, back with another video. This one's a Q&A. The John Taylors has asked, have you ever dabbled in other genres as a musician? Yes and no. The first thing that comes to mind is I made a track. Well, for some context, my brother's a folk musician here in Galway. He was actually doing a gig tonight in Barna, in Donnelly's pub in Barna. So anyone local, go check him out. He's in there like every Friday or something like that anyway. But so yeah, context, he's a folk musician. He does like indie folk, not particularly traditional folk, like kind of Irish country folk. I'm finding it hard to describe him, like, but I'll link one of his songs in the description. No Man is an Island, that's my favorite one. I'll link that in the description. So anyway, when I was making my actually, it was after the first album I made in 2021. I decided to branch out a little bit, and I found a post-punk beat, and I was like, fuck it, man, I want to see what I can do in terms of post-punk. I had previously made kind of a post-punk track before, like in early 2021, before I released my first album, but like, it wasn't bad, and I realized I kind of have a voice that would suit post-punk. Like, I can't sing very well, like, but that it was kind of off-key that made it sound really cool. Like, I had an off-key kind of a voice and a deep, passionate voice, like. But so I'll link this track in the description. It's called Weekend Alone in a Grungy Hotel. I chose a funny ass name for it, but like, that's what I called it, and it paints a picture, I suppose. So for that song, it's a post-punk, new, whatever you'd call it, post-punk, whatever, kind of a track. And I pulled the beat off YouTube. I found a post-punk beat on YouTube. I cannot remember. I'm pretty sure it was a girl producer that made it. Nah, I can't remember the name of the producer, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure it was a female producer, which is cool. Yeah, just a little side note. I think she was female anyway. But so we were, at the time I was recording all my music in not this shitty booth, but in my brother's room back in Salt Hill, and he had a mic and a MacBook or whatever, MacBook, we'll call it. If that's what, yeah, MacBook, that's what it was. So he was able to record my stems, and we'd send them on to my producer. And for the hook, my brother was like, hold on a second, you're putting on an American accent there, do it in your own accent, in your Irish accent there. We did that, it sounded a lot better. And then I was like, my brother, he studied music in college, like, and he studied music as an amateur artist and serious passion for music, so he knows what he's talking about. So I was like asking him, like, what harmonics would sound good on this, and I was trying to get the harmonies good for the chorus, and he said, hold on, I'll do them for you and you can see, just copy me then after. So he did the harmonies on it, and I was like, fuck, your voice sounds sick, man, like, we should keep that in the track, like. And I don't think he was reluctantly agreed, but he agreed, and he was like, yeah, cool. And we sent them to my producer, and fair play to him, he mixed it. Look, with a lot of my early work, it's an amateur effort. It's not by any means overly audible, like, it's not amazing anyway, but for what it was and the stems we gave him, in my opinion, I love that song. It sounds really cool, and I think myself and my brother's voice voices blend together really well on the track. I'll link that first in the description. Weekend Alone in a Grungy Hotel. That's like my first time ever branching away from rap, and the topic is still so like punk and hip hoppy, to be honest, or emo-y. It's emo more than anything. It's like emo post punk, and I'll link that in the description, and I'll link my brother's song for anyone that likes folk or indie music. I'll link my brother's song in the description underneath Weekend Alone in a Grungy Hotel. It's No Man is an Island. Now, this brings me on to like, that's like literally my only example I have out of me branching into other genres. But before I get into the next bit, I have, like, when I lived in Castlebar, I was friends with a lot of musicians around the town, and I actually busked on the streets with a handful. Like, I was just singing along and playing, like, the tambourine, and fucking, they were playing guitar and bass and shit, and that was pretty cool, like, and we were in a gaff one night, and we had one lad on the bass, one lad on electric guitar, one man on drums. I had like the tambourine hand cymbal thing, and I was singing. And I was like, to be honest, like, I've always fancied myself as like the lead singer of a band. Like, I suppose I dream of it, like, to be honest, but I always did fancy myself that way, like, and every time I tell that to my brother, I'm like, sure, we could start a band. I'll be the lead singer. He's like, fuck off. He's like, fuck you. No way. You're not a fucking lead singer of a band. But who knows what's to come in the future. Now, moving forward, do I ever want to branch into other genres? Yes, I've always dreamed about, like, branching into other genres and trying new things. And I suppose indie or bedroom pop, even emo-y type stuff. But oh man, I don't think I'm gonna be. I'm focusing on finishing this album. It's Redemption, my fourth album and the third installment of The Legend of Ashitaka. That's going to be a hip hop album as per usual. But the Legend of Ashitaka 4, like, do you know what? I might branch out, like, and have a go at some other genres, because I feel I'm capable of it. And I don't solely listen to hip hop. Hip hop's my favorite genre, but I don't only listen to hip hop. I listen to, like, I can listen to some rock as well, and grunge a lot. And I also listen to, like, techno and kind of ambient music. I love the Nine Inch Nails. I love Nirvana. I love Neil Young. One Heart is kind of my ambient music that I listen to. Yeah, you name it. A good song's a good song. Like, I have a broad taste in music, like, but predominantly emo-y, sad, rebellious kind of music is what is my favorite that I listen to. And that's just the way it is. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. The John Taylors, I really appreciate the question, because it gives me some content to make that I enjoy making, and it's pretty cool that you're following me. In other news, everyone, go stream my new single, Stardust. I'll link that in the description. So, peace, Prince Ash.